Well, hello and welcome back, everybody, to the show. I'm your host. This is Dr. Fuentes, and we have like a very special program today. Today, buckle up because it's going to be all about speed. Before introducing you to my guest today, let me give a little bit of the outcome of the El Paso Marathon. We just ran the El Paso Marathon this last Sunday, 23rd, and there were a total of 5,354 people that registered to the race. That's over 1,200 in comparison to last year. So it is so exciting to see so many people like get into the movement of running and getting those numbers up like here in the city. We had a total of 4,327 finishers in total from 5Ks, half marathon, and marathon. So that's an increase of 40% who actually finished the race in comparison to last year. So those are big numbers that we're getting here in El Paso, and that's very exciting. This was the 19th actually running of the event. We had over 500 volunteers assisting in the making of the event, from passing water to assisting to giving directions to just even sharing like for people, right? That's like a lot of volunteers. During the expo, we also had 152 expo volunteers, and it takes about 110 people to actually help us in the finish line of volunteering. So, passing out the medals and giving directions and all of that. So it's amazing to see all the work that it takes to running a race. Each one of us is really focused on our PR and time and just having like a good race and feeling strong and everything. But in order to, I guess, participate and be able to be part of this, an event like this, it just requires so much work from a lot of people, from the community, from volunteers. So I also want to be able to give like a big shout out to Mike Holtier, who has been doing this event for so many years, to Jim Waddell as well, Brian Guzman, who were able to put up the race directors to put up this an event like this in El Paso. And I hope that in the past, El Paso has been in the spot for COVID, for obesity, for other political issues, right? That we don't want to get into that, but it's great to see that maybe now El Paso is time to put us in the map for a running movement. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. And lastly, also Tom from Run El Paso, he ran his 100th marathon. How amazing is that? That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. That's pretty amazing. So, okay, let's get into the topic. So, guys, like I told you, buckle up. This is about speed. My my guests today are like so special to me. As in, I started running, I've gotten to know, I guess, more closely a couple of you. I've been able to follow their journey. What I love about this group is that I think they began to form on last year, but they're going to be talking about their group a little bit more like on their own. What I love to see about this group, they have like so much growth as runners. Yes, we know they're fast. Okay, that's obvious. But not only they're fast, I can see that they have come together as a team, and you can see the genuine love and support towards each other. I mean, you never find, I don't want to say never, no. It's very hard to find friends and people who have your back and they push you and they want the best for you without, like affecting me. No. It's like pushing each other over your limits, helping you reach your goals. And I love to see that about them. They have like a beautiful team between them. And so not only they're fast, I think they have like a kind heart, like each one of them. They're like these humble guys. They're just nice people. I see them learning. I see them growing as runners. And you're seeing the results. So I want to be able to get to know more about them. They're going to share the story, how they got into running, how they got into this running group. And then we later on have this amazing girl, like also like as part of the team, making that girl representation, of course, yep. So please welcome the G2. I mean, welcome, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful introduction.
How are you guys? First, congrats. You're amazing. We know you're amazing. So let me pull up my numbers. I even took out the numbers. I know G2 is composed of Dorian, Uri, We have Erik, we have Gonzalo, we have Jeannette, and we have Kat, right? So tell us, guys, how did you two started? What's going on there?
I guess we'll start off where it started, is running, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So funny thing is we pretty much have known each other about a year now.
Okay.
And it really came from different races, just from being in El Paso, doing those 5K races, really where it came from. And each individual of us are competitors. I mean, that's firsthand. And that's what we do. We compete, and we've been putting in the work. So just long story short is from a bunch of races, we'd always see each other in the top. Yeah. And, it would always be sometimes coming in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the case may be. And kind of like you were saying, everyone's super, super genuine, very down to earth. And it's nice to see that not only can people be competitive, but like Dorian, Gonzalo, Erik, everyone's just super humble, humble. And when I started talking to them, we would just start little talks here and there and all. And we finally just said from one day to the next, we kind of started asking each other like to run with each other, right? Yeah. And it really came down to the first marathon that I ran. It was in February, and I was super nervous. I ran my first marathon. I think my longest run at that time was like 10 miles. And so I was just super, super glad and happy that I was able to finish. And I was very surprised that I actually was able to hit a 3:16 on my first marathon. And all of a sudden...
Was this your first one?
Correct. Well, this was my second El Paso marathon.
Second, okay.
It was his first.
Yeah. And so Gonzalo, out of the blue, not even 7 days later, we really didn't talk that much, just knew each other from races and stuff. And he's like, hey, Israel, we're going to be doing a Baton out in New Mexico. If anybody knows about that marathon, it's the hardest marathon in the States. Yeah. By far. I mean, the incline is just ridiculous there. And so I told Gonzalo, I'm like, I just ran my first marathon like 7 days ago, right? this other marathon's like 23 days from now, right? Yeah. And so we ran it within like literally less than a month, and we partnered up, with a familiar name you just said right now, Jim Waddell, and some other really strong runners here in El Paso. And long story short, I partnered up with Gonzalo. We ran the marathon. We actually did a co-ed team, and we placed first in New Mexico.
Oh, wow. At the Baton?
Yeah, we did.
As a co-ed team, and really strong runners. I mean, we represent El Paso very well. I think that was part of our name, right, Gonzalo? Yeah. As we created an El Paso name and make sure that everybody knew it was from El Paso. Yeah. And then from there, Erik started coming along, and then so was myself, Erik, and Gonzalo. And then we met Udi in Socorro Run, and so he started joining us. And then I would see Dorian literally every Wednesday at the Live Athletics downtown run. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Live Athletics for hosting that. Guys. For hosting those runs on Wednesdays. But I met Dorian, super humble guy. And from there, the rest is history. Yeah. So we started running for about a good, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, 6 to 7 months. And we were like, you know what? I love you guys to death, but we need some girls on our team. We just needed that, that extra touch, that woman touch. And of course, that's where we met Jeannette, of course, and Kat. And I kid you not, it just felt like a puzzle piece. Like it all just came together, and it worked out so perfect. Yeah. And same thing, we were looking for, we wanted to make sure we had the right people, that it fit, it wasn't forced or anything like that. And I will tell you right now, Jeannette will talk in a little bit, but she's like the mom of our team. Okay. Super, super genuine. She takes care of us, like literally like a mom. If one of us is not feeling good, she takes care of us. She helps us, heals us. If you guys ever met Kat or don't know who Kat is, she's a firecracker. She's amazing. Her energy literally brightens up a whole room. You put her anywhere, and everyone gravitates to her. So. Yeah. Having that, that type of dynamic and everyone's different backgrounds really makes G2 what it is. It's a lot of people get us confused because they think sometimes we're a running club, but we're not a running club. What we are we're an advanced group of runners that are trying to achieve their own personal goals, but at the same time helping others in the community achieve their goals. Yeah.
And I was going to get to that because I see you guys, you have like this very strong, solid team between you. I do love, and I think everybody can see that from you too. And I think people are beginning to have like some type of hard feeling for you guys because we see you growing so much, and that's what I was telling you, that you see the genuine support between you guys. Even though all of you, they're like highly competitive, you're super fast, you're hitting those, you're smashing those PRs. You can see that each one is like pushing each other, like let's make you better. You know that I don't see any ounce, any touch of competition within the group. You see that complete support within you, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Now, not only are you guys like making a great representation here in El Paso, I see you like in different running clubs. I see you pushing other people run regardless their pace, to get into the movement, to help them. Gonzalo, you were just helping out people at the marathon, and I can see that you guys like helping also like new runners get into the movement. How do you do that, Gonzalo?
So like Izzy said, we got into this so we could like help each other achieve our goals, our dreams and stuff. But on the process, we wanted to help other people grow. So that's why, like, I feel like I got injured for a reason, because once I got injured, I was able to like slow back and actually take care of the people in the back, while my G2 brothers are taking care of the people in the front and make sure they get super, super, super fast. And I help the ones in the back grow into there one day, hopefully. And so that's what we do. We just love to help people.
Well said, brother. Well said.
And yeah, man, like before, my competitor was Dorian, man. Like me and him, like we didn't really like each other, but
Go
man,
way back. We
but
go way
back.
Really?
But now
Okay.
I look at him and I even want to cry whenever he does an accomplishment, because I'm super, super proud of him. And I know what it takes to do what he's doing right now. So like, I love him. I love all my G2 brothers and sisters, and that's why I'm here. I love to help the community, and that's what we all try to do, is help the community, and we do it all in different ways.
And you just said something like very pretty, very beautiful. Dorian.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Respect, bro. I mean, you were like in that photo, and I think I know we had like several winners in the El Paso Marathon, but your image, you just captured. I think it captures the work, that consistency, everything that it takes to break to that PR, to make that goal happen for you. I think like nobody really understands what's in our hearts when you really make that goal happen. And you see that, and I get emotional because I just feel it. I even see you on that image, and you're like a representation of everything that it takes to make things happen. I know you just broke that 2:59. And it's just amazing. I'm getting emotional. You see?
I know, me too. I'm telling you.
About Dorian. I've seen Dorian grow. I followed mostly, I think I barely get to know you guys, but I follow most closely since the beginning, Gonzalo and Dorian. And I've seen Dorian like this last year. You've grown so much. It's not a matter of being fast and having the right schedule and like a schedule of exercises, right? It takes sacrifice. It takes money. It takes giving up personal stuff, maybe a social life otherwise, maybe family moments. It takes learning how to recover, learning how to eat better, right? And I've seen you in that sense. You've grown so much. And I think those changes and your growth from that side, honestly, I think that's what took you to that 2:59. It's not that you're fast. We know that. And this is nothing. I think you're barely peeling that onion. And I think there's much coming for you. But I've seen you grow, and I'm proud of you. And that picture hits us, like all of us.
Thank you. No, I mean, it's to me, like, I still find it hard to believe how I got here. Like right now, I'm still getting kind of emotional right now, but respectfully, there is a lot of great runners here, respectfully, and I admire everyone. I want everybody to continue pushing themselves, pushing their limits, because I know it's possible. It's very hard to break sub 3 here in El Paso, especially with the course. It's difficult. But I know that anybody can break 3. It's just a matter of just working hard. It does take a lot of sacrifice, and then I've depart a lot from my family because I have to work with my schedule, with my work schedule. Denying get-togethers because the ultimate goal was to break 3 one day, and this year was it. So
well, congratulations
thank
to
you.
you. We are proud of
thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
And I do have to say this because I don't think people realize the hard work that goes behind it. Dorian has the crazy schedule. First of all, he goes in 5 in the afternoon, gets out for 1 in the morning. There's the fact that he gets out at 1 in the morning and is putting in 1 hour, 2 hours of running, literally at 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's very physically demanding,
and it's just very inspiring, right? The same thing. He's hitting the gym. I saw you hitting the gym last night for an hour 43 minutes. Not that I'm paying attention or anything. But
no, we're not. We're not stalking you, Dorian.
No, we are paying attention. We are paying attention.
No. But we truly encourage each other. Yeah. But I love that you said that because it does take a lot of people think that. Sometimes, yes, people are gifted, right? And they're able to run fast and all that. But I just want to make sure everybody understands that when even I first started running, I was doing 13, 14-minute miles, right?
Yeah.
And so just like anything in life, you need to be consistent. If you put in the time, obviously the results will come.
Yeah.
Just to show up every day. Even currently, I'm going to the second round of this training program, I've been having a lot of thoughts. It's my brothers that have been backing me up and saying, no, Israel, you got this. And I tell them, you know what? I'm going to keep showing up. My good days, bad days. But that's the beauty of running. It does humble you sometimes, and you just got to keep moving forward.
No, it does not humble you sometimes. No, it humbles you.
It does.
Every single day, every single run. The moment you put on your shoelaces and go out for a run, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a mile, 2, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's hard.
It does humble you. It is, it is rather... Just going out there and run, it's still difficult.
For me, sometimes the hardest part of everything is just getting out the door. Sometimes I'm mad, maybe I'm depressed, maybe I just don't want to, I'm having a bad day. I don't know, but just crossing, I'm like, I go through this moment of anxiety. I don't know if that happens to you.
It does.
That happens to me. I have like this moment of anxiety of like, I really don't want to do this, So it just open the door and let's go, let's get it over with. And after 5-10 minutes, you're like, okay,
I got this.
I'm good, right? But for me, that's like the most difficult part of getting the run.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like you look at the plan and you think like, I cannot hit these times today because I feel tired.
Yeah.
Like I had a busy schedule at work, but then you go out there and you do it because you have a why. Your why is stronger than everything else. So if you have a why, like you're gonna attack it. Like, even if you're tired, you're going to make it happen. And so Dorian and all these guys, they made that happen.
What is your why, Gonzalo?
For me, my why...
That's easy. That's easy. His family.
My why is super strong. Is my family, my daughters, my wife, and also the community, my brothers, like everybody. Like my why was strong before, but now it's even more strong because of the community, everybody that I freaking love. I love just watching my brothers and sisters kill it. Like I love it. Like I really love it. And so that's my why. So that's why even though like when I got injured and the process coming back, like it was like, you know what? Even though I cannot run, I can walk. I could go to the gym. But I'm gonna find a way to impact with this team because this team is amazing. And we're not people that just give up. Like we're people that always fight for our goals, our dreams, and that's what this team is about. So I love it.
And Gonzalo, when I first met you, I remember I think you're the first one that I met, and I know you were running back then Chicago, and I was following you on the app, and I know like my coach was, I don't know, a couple of like blocks like in front of you, but you were like steady, like keeping that 6 and something pace. I'm like, Gonzalo, he's like, keep going. I was like so excited just following you on that. I couldn't even sleep. I was like, Gonzalo, go.
Thank you.
You know, like, and you kept like, you did such a beautiful race in Chicago, like steady, beautiful, steady pace throughout the course. So I got so excited to see you like killing it
you.
out there.
Crushed it.
So from that Gonzalo that was pushing his limits and doing, I think you did like a 250 something,
253.
253 in Chicago back then.
Yeah.
So from that Gonzalo in Chicago to the Gonzalo now, do you think there's like change in you?
I'm not gonna lie. That day was amazing. I loved it. The 253 was amazing, but to tell you the truth, the 348 that I did not too long ago, that was even better because I saw Dorian, like how he was crying, like that just made it better than the 253 in Chicago. Because the 253 in Chicago, I was with my family. I love my family. But not only do I have my family now, I have a community.
Yeah.
I have my brothers and sisters. Now it's even stronger. So that 348 for me was better.
Was better.
Was better.
And I see you more engaged with the community now. You have like a heart of service, like helping other runners. So that's
and then just watching them, like when I saw Dorian, it just reminded me of me in Chicago. When I finished, I was crying. But, I mean, I looked around. I didn't have nobody to be there for me. When I saw Dorian, break the 3 hours, and then he had Dorian, he had Udi, then he had Izzy. Like, he had everybody hug him. I'm like, man, I wish I was there. I wish I would have been fast so I could have been right there with him. But, oh, wow, like, I just seen the newspaper was amazing.
And see that picture, like, of all of you coming? It's like, damn, it's like fire. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So, Dorian, what moves you?
Ooh.
What's your why?
Honestly, I think what really moves me is the support of my mom. It's growing up was very hard for me. It was very hard. I see people, or I see these incredible athletes here in El Paso with their families, with their parents actually, and I grew up, basically just, with a single parent, my mom. My dad wasn't really around, as much. And that's what I wanted the most. I see, kids with their dad, and, that's something that I always wanted, parents to be there for me. But my mom has always been there for me. She sacrificed so much for me growing up, and I'm very blessed for the person that I am today. I think doing it for not only for myself but for my mom, my family, I want to make them proud, in some way, and it's just that, it's just the motivation to keep pushing myself to reach my dream. I mean, obviously the goal is to be an Olympic runner, but that he even now is it's kind of getting farther away. But I mean who knows, it can still be possible.
Yeah,
okay.
It is possible.
Maybe it's time to hit those tracks.
Yeah,
it is time to hit those tracks. I'm looking forward to sign up for the USA track and field, at least for the master's program. So let's see how that goes. But I still have a lot to learn. I still have a lot to grow, put in the work, because I'll be competing against other athletes across the world. So.
Yeah, and I know there's like the New Balance track competition. So maybe that's a good place to go. Pretty cool. All right. Israel, what moves you?
What moves me? You know what? I think everyone can agree on this table, right? We do a lot of stuff for our families, right? I think that we have that in common. But besides our family, just to be a good person overall, just to bring good energies to the world, to constantly, encourage people, right? To do better, regardless if it's just walking, running, lifting weights, just helping people in general. To me, I mean, that's funny you asked, because about a year ago, I would always ask myself, like, what's my purpose? Like, why am I in this world, right? And the more I would think about it, the more I was like, you know what? I know I feel great about myself when I'm doing well for others, right? And really encouraging others, whatever it is, if it's life, if it's just advice or whatever the case may be. I try to give, positive energy anywhere I go because I gravitate to that, right? And so even if I can make a little impact in someone's life, even if it's tiny, that really what motivates me.
Okay. Now, Jeannette, can you share that? We're gonna pass the mic to Jeannette. So, of course, G2 was frosted with some girls in the team, right? So, Jeannette and Kat, how did you get into the team? How did you were able to connect with these guys?
Well, I started running last year. Probably like around June or July, and I met.
You barely started to run?
Yeah, well, I ran before, but not
girl,
Yeah,
you're natural.
Not like this.
not like this. And so I started like last June or July. I met Izzy at one of the run clubs.
Okay.
We kind of just started running together. I didn't meet the boys till like the McCalligan Canyon run.
Okay.
So we kind of all like just became friends. And then I started running a little bit more with them, and I was like, okay, like I can do this, like trying to be.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very competitive.
Okay.
So
Okay.
even when I try not to be.
Okay.
So I kind of saw that in them, and I was like, well, I like being around these. Like,
Okay.
they're so humble. They're so sweet. Like, they help out. They, like, help out the community. And so then we just kind of, I met Kat through Izzy. He was like, oh, there's this other girl that, likes to run too, runs kind of like you and stuff. And I went for a run with her, and I just fell in love.
Okay.
I was like, this is my girl. Like, we just ran the same. We had the same energy. She would get me excited for the runs. We would do the same. And then all of a sudden, they just asked us to join the team. And I was like ecstatic.
And I love the addition. It looks like so nice of you guys, like to be with these guys. So how did you get into running? What moves you?
So kind of actually, it's funny. I grew up I was a cheerleader all my life, so I really didn't run. But I started doing it as just a working out.
Okay.
Like I would run 2-3 miles here and there. Last year I went through a little rough spot in my life, and I just kind of wanted to get out there and do something different. And running just was it for me. And after that, I am just such in a good place now of like everybody that I've met, like even the whole running community, like all the different run clubs, all the different people. Now I see a lot of the girls from the 915, and it's so awesome because they are like, oh my God, we love you and Kat. And like, it's so exciting to be like a good role model for them. And so that's how I got into it again. And now I'm like, I don't want to stop.
Perfect.
No, you do not.
No, stop it.
Please don't stop because
Don't stop.
you're so good. You're so fast. You're amazing. What's your next goal? What would you like to hit next?
Well, I think a marathon.
A marathon?
So I was supposed to run this.
Have you run a marathon before?
Never run
Okay.
a marathon. I was supposed to run this Sunday, but
Okay.
I had a small little knee injury as well.
Okay.
Kind of backtracked a
Playing
little
it
bit.
safe.
But we weren't even going to run at all. But at the same time, Kat and I are so like fierce with
And
running.
you're saying that
We're so-
competition. You're
yeah.
like, I have to.
And we actually in our mind, we went in this run making it a fun run.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw the videos and stuff.
I can see you guys having fun for sure. Like very fast, a very fast run.
It was an incredible video.
I know, it was amazing.
Makes me want to slow down and join them. Honestly.
We just went in, we looked at each other before we started, and we said, we're competitive, we're going to run this, we're going to do good, but at the same time, we're really going to help others, we're going to enjoy it, we're going to stop if people need help, we're going to do, just kind of like the
Like
Gonzalo.
Gonzalo.
We learned from Gonzalo. Yeah, we were like, we're just going to, and we did that, and it was so amazing. I think I told the boys, I was like, this is the most fun I've ever had in a half marathon.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about myself at all. We stopped a lot. Like we talked to people, we had fun with people, and we still finished at a good time.
Okay. You're like nothing, just
But
like
what
a
was
sub
what was
two,
your
like
time?
nothing, right? What was your time?
Yeah.
We finished at like 150 or 152.
Wow.
That's with
Still
one.
broke
See?
2 hours.
That's
Oh,
pretty
Wow,
cool.
that's amazing.
So I'm pretty sure you're gonna do that
Yeah.
Boston time like very very fast.
Yeah, the next goal is to actually complete a
Yeah.
marathon.
A
And I am
marathon.
scheduled for it in April.
Okay,
so
which one are you guys running?
The
Vegas?
Vegas.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we have a couple of when is that Vegas? In
That's in April the 5th.
the 5th. Okay, so you ready? Of course you are. You were born ready, girl.
gonna be ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She was born ready.
That's pretty cool. All right. And Gonzalo, I know you have like a very emotional story in your life. You know, I know you've been now trying to help others, like also through your personal story. Can you share us a little bit of that personal story so people can know more about you?
So basically, so I try to teach people that there's always a way out of the darkness. Why? Because like at 6 years old, I kind of like suffered from like I don't know, like I just didn't really want to live. I guess I don't know what was going on with my life, but at 13 years old, it got worse because at 13 years old, my brother, you know, like he would bully me at home. He was doing drugs, so like he would, you know, break everything in the house. He would tell everybody that he's gonna kill them. So like I felt like, you know, like I don't want to be there, you know, like I can't even sleep because if I sleep, what if I don't wake up? So then I would go to school and I would think like, okay, well, that's my safe zone. But I would go to school and I started getting bullied as well. And I wouldn't defend myself because I didn't want to put no problems to my parents. So then I started drinking. I started doing drugs. I started fighting. I started not giving like I didn't care what anybody had to. Like if somebody attacked me, like I defended myself now. So I started fighting people at school. I started fighting my brother. Everybody was scared of me. My brother started being scared of me. So like he never messed with me again. He actually, you know, like stopped doing drugs and now he's kind of calm, but like, I mean, he's still in the same place with my parents. And now I'm the one that's always giving him advice. But I changed my life because I was going through a lot with alcohol and doing drugs. And I got to the point that it was just messing up my life. And I had my oldest daughter. She was 4.5 at the time. And I told myself, like, if I keep going this road, like, I'm not gonna see her again because either I'm gonna be in jail or I'm gonna be dead. And so then I had to make a change. So I stopped drinking. But then I was having a lot of problems mentally. So I started boxing. And boxing led me to running. And running is what changed my life.
Okay.
Running is what helped me become a better person, a better everything. So that's why I try to teach people, like, there's always a way out. Like, I mean, look at me right now. I'm not letting nothing stop me. I got injured and I started working out. It's like, I'm not going to let nothing stop me from trying to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So there's no excuses. There's always a way. And just like Dorian, you know, like his job, like he sometimes even does double shift. And he doesn't let that stop him from still trying to go out there and attack what he wants to do. So that's what I try to carry now, like just try to show people that there's no excuses in this life and just always do your best, your 120%. And people like, you know, like now I inspire my family. And before I didn't inspire my family. Nobody even thought I was going to be the person I am today, especially because I was doing drugs. I was doing a lot of alcohol. Like they didn't see the person I was going to become. Not even I saw that until I went to that and I became the person that I am today.
Beautiful.
And now you're a role model in the running community. You're like such an inspiration. We all love you. We all like, you know, like even look up to you. You're like such an inspiration. So thank you, Gonzalo, for what you do.
Thank you. No, it was like I said, I love the community. I love my family. I truly do love everyone, and I do it for God. God is the one that gave me a second chance in life. So now I gotta repay him back for giving me that second chance.
And I see that it's amazing. You know, like everybody, we all struggle in our life for any, like, either for work, family, for personal reasons, right? We all know what's in our hearts, like that.
Yeah.
That pretty much that's heavy in our hearts. But I think like what connects us also in running, we kind of like find that getaway, that escape. We are able to reconnect. It helps us to have like that reconnection with ourselves, and even become like tougher. You know, like you develop that mental clarity and that mental strength, because running it's a lot about having the right state of mind.
Yep.
And running pushes you to have like a strong mind. Like I don't care if I feel mad, if I feel weak, if I feel sad, or I feel whatever struggles you're going through in your life. I think running teaches you, to be strong and overcome those difficulties.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, running teaches you to, like, it makes you believe that you could even fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you believe you could do anything. Like, you're like, man, I just did this. Well, now I can do that. And how about in my personal life? Like, Izzy did a lot for me, that, because I was already doing a lot in my running, but I was never doing nothing outside of running until I met Izzy. And Izzy was like, hey, man, pues, what are you doing to making these dreams happen? And so then I told him, well, I'm doing this. And he's like, well, you're not really doing that. So then I thought to myself, like, you know what? Like, everything that I do for running, I'm going to attack that to my life too. And so then, like, I started going to the gym. I quit my job of 11 years because of, his advice. And so now I'm attacking this new job, because now I want to make these dreams happen. Because if I make these dreams happen, then that means I get to help the community even better. Because that's my goal, is to one day helping the whole community, not just in El Paso, but the whole world. So, like, it's all thanks to Izzy, and it's all thanks to running and to Dorian, to everything. Like, there's a lot of things that go into it, but running makes you believe that you can do anything, and you can.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can in this life.
Yeah, and I think crushing those goals, like hitting those, it makes you think that you are able, like, to push your limits, and like, I can do it. I can challenge myself, and I can show to myself that I can nail this. I think that's why PRs are so important for us, because it's a way to keep pushing ourselves and to show ourselves, not to anybody else, but to ourselves, that we are, we're getting better. We're trying to conquer new challenges.
And I love that you said for yourself, right?
Yes.
I think where a lot of people sometimes mess up is they try to be somebody else that they're not. Eventually you probably get those goals, but at the end of the day, as long as you're making your own personal growth, even if it's just a little bit, it's still growth. And so one piece of advice I would tell, if two runners are out there or getting started, or, trying to hit those certain times, it'll come. It's just a matter of time. It just
patience is a virtue.
Exactly. Just be very patient with the process. Actually, I got to give thank you to Gonzalo, because before I didn't even have no structure. I would just go out and run. I would just put on my Nike shoes, just like Forrest Gump, and just start running, right? But as soon as I got with these gentlemen, and we were able to come out with a game plan, we all kind of gave each other advice. Say, hey, this what works for me, this what works for me. Gonzalo provided the actual plan, and so we kind of tweaked things and made things our own, and I think it's made us all better as runners, right? And the fact that I think Kipchoge said it best, and you'll never get better if you're running alone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes G2 is because we have that strong bond, like you were saying, and the fact that we run together, even when one of us is having a bad day, whatever the case may be, we're there to uplift each other, and it's also a result. When you run races, that's why you run faster, because you're running around people. And same thing with practices. If you're running around people, you're going to hit faster times.
Yeah, true. And you mentioned something very important, right? There's the plan, but we have to tweak it because each one of us is different. Yeah. And I think that's also very important to understand in the part of the training, that each one of us is gonna show a different progress and with a plan, because each one of us is completely different. So how do you guys train? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? What works for you, Dorian? What has worked for you that you've noticed an improvement?
Going faster.
For sure.
You know what? I think what really helped me out a lot is just being patient. Don't get discouraged. Don't especially, I used to compare myself a lot to somebody, and I'm like, man, if he's hitting those times, you know, like I can hit them, or actually, like this certain individual that I used to beat before, you know, he's out there. Well, he kind of, you know, got injured, but, you know, he was out there trying out for the Olympics.
Wow.
And I was comparing myself to a lot to him. I'm like, man, like, you know, like I used to beat him before. Like, you know, why am I not there? You know, and I think that's one of the negative things that you don't want to do, is be comparing yourself to others. It's just a matter of just being patient and then trusting the plan. You know, don't, you know, just big advice is just don't compare yourself to others. Just,
I agree.
Just
Yeah,
stick,
definitely.
stick to the effort that you can. And then eventually, little by little, you know, a week, 2 weeks from now, you'll see little improvements.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of just not giving up and just being consistent on your runs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Consistency, right? Consistency
Yeah.
is like such
Yeah.
a big key.
It
Everybody's
is.
different.
I remember when Gonzalo first gave us a plan, I was mad at him. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I was like, man, this plan is slow. And one thing for those that are out there, believe it or not, it's gonna sound crazy, but believe it or not, you do have to run slow to run faster.
Of
sometimes.
course,
Oh, yeah.
yes, of course. Let's not get into there.
And so a lot of people think like, oh, you guys are constantly running fast. Also, I see your Strava. But again, it's because it's been a long period of time. You know, I have a friend of mine that she also ran for the Olympics and things like that, and she told me it takes about 4 years for you to see your true potential.
Yeah.
And so what that consists of is, you know, nutrition, recovery,
of course.
stretching. Those things that are non-running things, those are also very crucial to make sure that you're an overall better runner.
Yeah, according to the RRCA, I think they recommend at least a 500-mile base, just based on pure easy building before moving you up with the volume or the speed workouts. And I think that's where a lot of people fail, right? We want to do more and more distance and more speed, and we know it's like a formula for the injury, right? That's when you see all the injuries of everybody. So you gotta respect both, treat both with the same respect, distance and speed. They're equally when it comes to putting those together. So yeah, definitely. You need about 500 miles in as a base building before that. And we just want to register and run a marathon, right? just like that. Just bring it on. I don't care, right? So, but yeah, and like you're saying, I guess recovery is like such an important piece. I'm like, that's where the magic happens. Like the better you learn how to recover and recover your muscles, that's where the patching, all the housework is happening for your muscle fibers to actually get stronger and be ready to tackle the next speed workout. So I think recovery is always like the key word that sometimes we fail to understand like the importance of it, that it comes to training, right? So Israel, what works for you?
What works for me, I'll be transparent, because I'm not going to sit here and lie to people. I mean, I'm probably the worst of the group out of recovery.
I know. Me too.
I am the worst group out of the recovery.
Me and Izzy. That's why I'm injured.
I think I'm superhuman, and I think I can recover quickly, but it's not, you know. And I'll be transparent. You know, I'm probably the worst in the team that doesn't do, you know, the right stretches, or does, you know, go get massages or get the needles done or IVs and stuff like that. But the moments I have, shout out to by the way, Jeannette.
Oh,
she has
yeah. She can talk about us.
Yeah, she
like
has her own IV company and all that, but her IVs are amazing. I actually did it in Big Bear. She probably me an IV. It's the first time I ever done an IV, to be honest with you. And I hit my personal best at that time. And that was for my half marathon. And a big part of it, I think I only hydrated like once. I literally had like one gel out of the whole time. And it was a big thanks to Jeannette and her IV stuff, you know. But just what helps me is just, you know, again, kind of listening to my body. I did get hurt during the 915 challenge. I think I did like 150 miles that week, like literally within 1 week. And I was competing against Dorian. You know, we're just naturally self-competitors. Like him and I kept going back and forth in first and second.
Just FYI, like, at least for me, I did not know, you know, we were competing. So just
right.
Okay.
No. Dorian wasn't.
But automatically when you see those numbers, you're like,
How I know was because he's like, I think it was hiding his miles, but in reality it was because I was hurt. I wasn't putting my miles because I was hurt. You know what I mean? But I didn't tell the team
Come on,
because
Erik.
I was
Come
worried.
on.
I'm like fading away. I'm like, okay, like I'm already in the 180s, almost
Yeah.
to the 200. I'm like, is he still in the 150, 160? I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Just
So-
waiting
so.
for him to just add, the miles towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing so many miles, just so I have a little bit, so you guys know a little bit of history of it, is we decided to do something extremely crazy, right? And for those that are not familiar with the El Paso 915 Run Challenge, is we signed up for 915 miles within 15 days.
Yeah.
15 days.
And we only have a team of 7.
Okay.
So we signed up.
700 and
And then I was injured.
Yeah. So
With one handicap.
yeah.
well, we had 6.5.
6.5.
Because Gonzalo was hurt, but we decided to do as a team. And the crazy thing is we slowly started dropping like flies, right?
Okay.
The first 3 days we were knocking out of the park and things like
Solid.
that. And believe it or not, just so everyone, we did finish the challenge. So
Yeah, we did.
we did 915 miles
Yeah.
in 15 days with 7 people. Well,
Well-
what was left of the 7 people,
What was
right?
left? Because
Yeah,
I think, like out of
Yeah.
the 7, I
Yeah.
think there was like only 4 of us left, or 3, or something like that.
Yeah.
can you share the microphone
it is now.
with
Jeannette.
Jeannette? So tell me more, Jeannette.
Well,
Bring
on
the
that
gossip here.
No, on that challenge, I mean, yeah, the boys they hit it out of the park because
they
we
did.
actually all did really good the first week. I actually even ran a half marathon. I had just done 87 miles, and I ran a
Okay.
half marathon in San Antonio. So that first week for me is the most miles I've ever done in my life. And then kind of like I wasn't injured or anything like that, but Kat unfortunately did get injured, and she had to after 2 days step away. But I mean, the boys picked it up big time. I mean, Dorian was running at 2,
Yeah.
3 in the morning, and this
Yeah.
is when it was like cold.
I know. Yeah.
It was cold, windy, everything. Hands down to Erik. Erik too.
Yeah.
Man, he killed it too.
Yeah.
Erik was running every single day, like 10 miles. Gonzalo ended up in the top, like what, 15, or
Yeah.
whatever, because he was like walking like 14, 15 miles or even little jog. I mean, this team is so like, we just have that energy that
Yeah.
we're just like,
Yeah.
we're gonna not let each other down. And we all let each other know, like, even though Kat was injured, we're like, we got you, girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, we're just such a good team.
Like a family, It's
Yeah.
like
And
you're running
Shout
family.
out to Gonzalo too, because
Yeah.
he helped out a lot towards
lot.
the end, putting in those walking miles. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about 5, 4,
No, it
3 miles. No, these were like at least 12 plus or even 15 plus miles of walk.
Yeah, I
Walking.
even did a 17-mile one day. I did 12 and then 5 miles later. But yeah, it was walking because I saw Dorian like hit the miles like he was hitting, and then Izzy got injured and Kat got injured, and I'm like, man, I have to step up. Like even if I have to walk, like I don't care. That's what I'm gonna show people, that regardless of what life throws at you, you gotta find a way.
Yeah.
So I found a way. I power walked. I was power walking like 13:30, 15:30 minute miles, but I was power walking and it was hurting. It was hurting bad. It's harder than running, to tell you the truth. But
No,
I made it. I did it for them.
imagine walking for
Yeah.
15 miles.
Yeah, no, but I did it for them because
Ah.
Dorian was killing it in the top, and then Izzy had already he put his miles, like a lot of them. So now I was like, you know what, like I gotta step up, and this is an amazing team that we're crazy, so we'll do crazy stuff for each other. So that's one thing that I did for them.
No, and then what's crazy is that nobody said anything when as day 7, 8, 10, 12, nobody said anything that they were hurting
Everybody was just
or getting injured.
Giving the
I'm
smiles.
like, and
What's
then me,
going
I'm
on?
just not worrying about
Yeah.
I have to put in my miles. I have to put in my miles. Like nobody said anything,
Yeah.
and still to be able to accomplish that milestone, 915 miles, with still 7,
We had 2 days.
With 2 days to spare. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also Dorian, shout out to him. He did like 284
Oh,
miles
wow.
in those 15
in
days.
those 15 days.
Wow.
15 days.
Shout out.
Damn.
Yeah.
But
No
I think
goal.
this is what shows that we're human, and even though we you know, like they're amazing runners. We're still human. We get
Yeah,
injured.
of course.
We get, you know, like, and we have to rely on each other. But I think it's kind of like Gonzalo said, that's how our team is so unique, because we really, really do push each other, and we do look out for each other.
We do.
That's really nice
And then-
and admirable.
And then
for you
just
guys.
real quick, what helped me out a lot is going back to the recovery. You know, the moment I finished putting in my miles, the sleep is what helped me out a lot, because that's where you recover the most. Is sleep. 8 to 9 hours of sleep is where you recover the most, and that's what helped me out a lot to be able to accomplish, you know, those 15 days and putting in the 284 miles.
Yeah, and sleep is such an important tool of recovery. You know, this tennis player, Roger Federer, right? He used to say that his weapon, because he was like a champion for like so many years, right? That he said his weapon was actually sleep. Like that was like what always helped him recover, and that was like he focused and he made sleeping his priority in order to recover and just be ready for those games. So sleeping is an important. In my home, they know at 8 p.m., 8:30, I'm already going to sleep. Like they know, and I appreciate that for my family so much, because they know like sleep is like so important to me, and they respect it. You know, like they know, like, no, your mom is already asleep. Like she knows, they already know. Like I'm like a baby at 8:30, like going to bed, right? But and that's where also like family takes like an important piece. Like we don't even realize how much of our training puts a toll on our families, because they support us like in so many ways. Like for me, like respecting my sleep. They know I'm not gonna go anywhere at night, for sure. I don't know how you do it, like do it like different time, like schedules. Like I couldn't do it. Like honestly, that's very impressive. But our families do so much for each other and support us. So that's pretty amazing. So Jeannette, I know recovery. We're talking about recovery, and you have these amazing IVs, and you have. How did you start with your? Your company, what do you do?
What happened is that actually I was working out a lot about like a year and a half ago, and I was always so sore. And one of my friends had told me like, hey, you should try out, it was in Las Cruces, this place that has like IV infusions. They have all these recovery things. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went over there, and I mean, it's kind of like the recovery room now here that has a cold plunge, the sauna, the compressions and stuff. So they had it over there in Las Cruces, and I got an IV, and oh my God, like I just
noticed a big difference.
Like, but I started doing it. So initially, like everybody thinks it's gonna like completely, but it's a process. It's consistency, like you said, you know. So I would go every 3 weeks, and I would either get like an immune one or a Myers one or recovery, and I just started going like I think I did it for like 6 months, and I would do a lot of recovery as well. And not only did I feel stronger, like I felt like my fatigue had gone away, the energy was up. And so then I was like, I can do this. I'm a nurse. Like, like I can do this. And so I got with a group of friends, and we kind of talked about it. Now I've kind of gone solo and stuff, but I love it. I really love for people to feel good. If I could give it to the whole world for free, I would, you know what I mean? But like, I really like, because it really does help with a more healthy lifestyle, you know, and, you know, it helps you recover a little better.
And a faster recovery too.
Yes. And we tend to miss, like, in our diet, I always think the diet, like the most difficult thing to nail and to hit is like so hard, because you can get all these macros, right? Macronutrients, but then these micronutrients we tend to sometimes overlook, and they takes like such an important role to help us with, you know, with the process of breaking down the macros into energy, but we tend to overlook the need for those micronutrients, right? So what do you find in these IVs? What's so special about them?
What happens is, like, for example, if you take vitamins every single day, it only is absorbed 30% on your GI tract. So you're really not getting
where everything goes through urine,
you're
right?
Not. So in these IVs, I mean, like for the athletic recovery for Dorian that I did, it has one of the main ingredients it has is magnesium. So magnesium is super good for recovery, for your legs, for your muscles, for relaxation. It even helps with migraines. Like we give high dose mag for migraines. So it's very good. The mineral blend has like all these other, along with magnesium, it's like copper, zinc, which are like super antioxidants for your body. Your vitamin C, like we don't get enough of that, you know. Yes, like drink some orange juice, whatever, but like we say, like your GI only absorbs a certain amount. So these IVs I feel like are perfect for like recovery, even for people trying to lose weight. Like I said, the migraines, there's also like beauty ones if you just want to do something like biotin with your hair, skin, and nails. So I just found that so intriguing, and I felt like it was something that would really help everybody else.
Yeah.
And we've seen like a lot
yeah.
of people are now like coming up to you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's pretty
At
good.
the expo
Yeah.
was amazing.
I know. I'm like, all my friends are like, I'm getting an IV, like VIP. So
Dorian's always the first one
Yeah.
there. Yeah. No.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop by Jeannette one of these days as I get ready for my
It's
next
a must.
time.
No, no,
Yes.
It's a must to set on, book a,
Yeah.
an IV infusion.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
super helpful,
It is.
super beneficial as well. So
Okay, so Jeannette, when is your next
Dorian's a big
opening?
reason. Yeah, I was gonna say Dorian's a big reason why my recovery is terrible because he's always taking up the IV spot.
Probably we can
Yeah.
blame it on Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian takes over.
Dorian's my number one.
By the time we get there, there's nothing for us. So
All
that's
the
why I got
IVs
injured también.
are gone, right? Well, Dorian, it was worth it.
Yeah,
so
you know what? Yes, I'll take it. Thank you
it
guys.
was
Thank
worth
you.
it.
Oh, heck yeah.
Awesome. How about nutrition, guys? How well do you do on nutrition? Do you?
Horrible.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know it's a hard one.
It's hard.
yeah.
Do you think?
I'm
Are you good? At,
I'm really good with nutrition.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm a big reason.
so we have recovery on that side. We have
Yeah.
nutrition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
guy. Okay.
Recovery, nutrition. I'm
Motivational
unhealthy.
speaker over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
We're trying to find the strengths of
Yeah.
each one. See?
Yeah.
funny because
Okay.
I mean, and we're we have this chat, and
Okay.
we joke around and things like that. I think Gonzalo be the things like the week before the marathon, he's sending us pictures of him eating cheese fries and all this junk food, and
I know.
and he's like, guys, I'm carving up, getting ready for the marathon. But I mean, hopefully he was joking around, but
No, I wasn't.
those things are me. But nutrition is big, right?
Yeah.
So even let me tell you guys a story. So you guys
Okay.
also we went to California in November, and so we went, first place I think we went to is Trader Joe's, right? I mean, we start pounding it with all the healthy stuff from bagels to eggs to white rice to chicken, and shout out to Gina. She was basically our housewife that day
Yeah.
or that weekend, right? She was preparing our meals, doing everything for us, and to make sure that we're bringing in or carving up for the marathon and all that. And so that's, I think, like to your point to nutrition and stuff, it's super important. I mean, it's just as important as your training, as anything that you're doing, weightlifting, because that's what fuels your body. It's your gasoline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're putting in healthy, good gasoline, right, your body's going to perform to its max potential.
Yeah.
And so, during our off season, we'll eat a little bit things here and there,
Like how I am.
yeah. But once we start getting more serious, everyone starts jumping on, right?
Yeah.
Onto the healthy train, and we kind of ask each other, hey, what are you eating? What are you doing? Things like that. And so, again, just for everyone listening out there, it really is like everything you're doing, from weightlifting, from eating, from sleeping, from recovery. I mean, all these make a huge impact in order for you to obviously hit your PRs or whatever you're trying to hit. Not only that, but just your everyday, life.
Yeah, of course.
You're
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So again, you mean just to be focused and things like that. You mean, how your body performs when you don't get that much sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Yeah.
next thing you're doing a 10-minute mile, and your blood, your heart rate's like at a 180, right? Because you haven't slept much.
It's horrible. And that feeling when like it suddenly switched off, like your body like loses energy all of a sudden, you're like, what happened? Like, even if you want to keep going, it's like you're out of it. It is a horrible feeling.
So nutrition's really, really good, unless this is gonna be the funny part. So going back to the Big Bear situation, unless you warm up eggs in the microwave.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys know what happens if you warm up eggs in the microwave, right? So we end up poor Dorian. I'm going to tell him. Poor Dorian. So we're there, as a family in a big table. We're getting ready to eat. So we put microwave. Somebody put. I think it was. I don't know if it was myself or I can't remember. But all I know is I took the eggs out of the microwave. I put them on the table, and then Dorian's like, "Oh, can I have one?" As soon as he's about to grab the egg, keep in mind, it was just freshly out of the microwave. It explodes. Like, I'm talking about, it got on everybody. This is what, like, I've never heard an egg explode like that before. So, I mean, I'm sitting across Dorian. Everyone has eggs on them. Like, literally, like, because the egg exploded. And the whole time, I don't know, Dorian, he was just like, oh, my eye, I can't feel my eye. And so, I mean, I'm like, oh, man, now we can't race because he can't see, and things like that. But, I mean, that was just kind of like a funny story behind the egg story or the nutrition part of it when we're in California.
So you think that you're the one that mostly takes over the nutrition part of the team?
I would say I would just push it more.
Yeah,
I just tell people just make sure your
quality of the
carbs.
nutrients. Okay.
Yeah, he gets.
If it comes to anything, we trust Izzy as far as what
nutrition,
to guide you on that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he even gets mad at me, but I'm like, hey, I'm not the one running, so I can eat whatever. No, but definitely, I mean, if I'm at a high level, I would listen to Izzy because, I mean, the nutrition is like you have to do that in order for you to make those PRs happen. You have to do everything the right way.
You have to pamper your muscles and
it's
make
hard
sure
to
to feel
balance
them.
everything. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's so much, right? I mean,
is.
nutrition, sleep, recovery, resting, this and that, and it's a whole
and even
thing.
the you know, obviously your equipment, right? Your shoes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your
The shoes.
your shoe rotation, what you're wearing.
Exactly.
know,
Everything matters.
And you know, you think just running is not a very expensive sport, but when you start adding everything up, I mean, it gets pretty pricey. I mean,
Yeah, it definitely is.
But it's a good investment.
Yeah, definitely.
It is.
You know,
It is.
it pays off in the end.
Yeah.
You know, we're spending on food. We're spending on the best equipment as possible, what we can afford. So at the end of the day, it pays off, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it not only makes you a better athlete, but it also helps you mentally, you know, like emotionally. Just makes you like an overall like better person, I think. Even have like a different perspective in life. I think so.
It does.
All right. How about fueling, guys? What's your poison for fueling during the marathon?
I mean, I like for me, I feel like you should always stay hydrated, even when it comes to training, like the runs, especially the long runs. I always believe that you have to have water, Gatorade with you. So, you know, like I always believe in that. Like, so when I start a run, I always carry a water bottle. I know Izzy doesn't like to carry a water bottle, pues siempre lo regaño because I'm like,
so
bro,
you're the hydration guy.
So I'm like, bro, like you need to stay hydrated because I feel like in the marathon, that's what people lack on is the hydration. And so by the time that you hit mile 20, that's when you start cramping up. That's when you hit the wall. And so if you don't do everything right by mile 20, then you have a really bad 6 miles after that.
I think my wall is 20. It's always 22. That's always like the one that I have to overcome. It's not never 20. It's 22.
But I mean, that's how it is. Just try to stay hydrated. You know, your gels. I mean, your water, your Gatorades, your gels, like everything has to be spot on. And you gotta train it in training.
Yeah, it's gotta be part of your process.
So I mean, if you're not carrying, like if you don't want to carry nothing, then you stop at the store as quick as you can, and boom, back to running.
Oh yeah.
So, but you gotta find a way to hydrate and stay good.
Yeah, I'm the same on you. Like with hydration, I'm always like, "Where's your water? You need to be hydrated." So yeah, hydration is a big one.
Actually, when we were training for Big Bear, before days prior, not so many people know this, but Gonzalo came in clutch the days of our long runs. You know, he would still wake up with us 4:30, 5 in the morning, and he's out there
hydrating.
That's a friend right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's a friend.
But
that's incredible.
Because they do a lot for me. So, you know, anything that I could do for them.
Behind the scene, Gonzalo was helping us tremendously. And, we thank you for that, because if it wasn't for you, honestly, we would have not hit our PRs. We would have not be able to perform well during our practices. So that helped us
Thank you, man.
humongous.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really.
No, but that's a friend. Not everybody does that.
No.
Trust me,
No.
not everybody does that for you. Yes, somebody
but-
that wakes up for you and like helps you and joins you, makes sure to like take care of you. That's a special person.
He would it would be every Saturday. He'd be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just like he was running with us, but he would follow us in his car.
In the car.
And here's your gel,
And then
bro.
checkpoints
Yeah.
by certain miles.
Yeah.
So that really helped out a lot.
And again, going back to G2, I think that's what makes us unique, right? And I always tell the guys all the time, like it's awesome to have a team where we're competitive, but we're not jealous of each other, or
no.
we're not trying to do better than the other person, right? Again, it goes back to being our own personal goals.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know, like what our G2 stands for, it's actually goal getters. And that's what we're out changing our goals. I mean, chasing our goals. And so just to make it short, that's why we call it G2.
Awesome. Well, I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you for being and coming over today and share a little bit part of your training and your stories and who you are, what moves you. You know, I'm sure that there's much more coming your
Yeah.
way. I mean, you're warming up. This is a warm up. So I'm looking forward to continue following your journey, keep you seeing growing, and I hope to see you, Dorian, on that track very soon. I know it's gonna happen. We believe in you. Any last words, Gonzalo, that you want to share to the community, to the two people that are watching this podcast or listening this podcast?
I just want to say thank you guys for everything that you guys do for me. To my G2 brothers and sisters, I love them. I do anything for them. That's why, I went out there to help them out because I love them. Just always believe in yourself. Always believe in yourselves. Always fight for your goals, your dreams. Just always have that in your mind because you could always do anything in this life. Like I said, me as well. I was a 14-minute miler, and I went down to my best marathon is a 2:53, all because of hard work and dedication. And now I'm out there doing a fun marathon at 3:48. People wish they had that time, but now that for me is a fun run. But I got to that point because of hard work. So if you want to do anything in this life, just keep working hard for your goals and your dreams.
Well, thank you, Gonzalo.
And thank you for inviting us also. I appreciate this.
Of course, Gonzalo, happy to have you here. Dorian, that side.
Just a quick shout out to my family. Thank you for your continued support. I would like to thank my sponsors, Active Chiropractor, Supplement Express, the Recovery Room, the cold plunge. Thanks to you guys that for maintaining me physically fit. To Jeannette with your IV infusion. So So thank you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Isra?
I'm going to try to make this quick, I promise. But there's a lot of people that I definitely want to mention. First of all, I just want to mention all the run clubs in El Paso. Every single
shout out
run
to
club.
everybody in the city movement.
The fact that all the numbers you're talking about at the beginning, how much we've increased by 40%. The fact that the marathon sold out twice, not once but twice this year. It's truly because of everybody in the movement within the El Paso community. So shout out to Run For It, Thomas and Fred. You guys are doing an amazing job. Shout out to Slow and Steady, our little partners, the young ones, right? Gabe and Victoria. Also want to make sure that's Left Athletics, Nancy and Julio. Coffee Posse, of course. Our early birds, Joe and Cindy, you guys are amazing. Of course, I love Adi and Danielle, right? We're not girls and stuff. They're huge supporter of us. And we love our girls. They're amazing. So keep doing what you're doing for the girls run 915. Believe it or not, we actually have a secret chat called Boys Run the 915. We just don't want to tell them. But again, I'm super proud of El Paso, what we're doing, the movement, just keeping a healthy lifestyle and all that. So I just super excited, even yourself, the podcast that you're doing, to get people to hear what we're doing out here, and I think it's amazing in El Paso. And of course, I just want to obviously shout out to my family, My son, I have a son, 10-year-old son, Sebastian. He's amazing. It's just everyone, right? Everyone that's been supporting us, because even for those that are either dating or married to a runner, you know what you guys have to go through.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
So again, just thank you guys and everything for helping and supporting and everything that you guys are doing for El Paso. And I also want to make sure that Jeannette gets a word in, so I'm going to pass the mic to her.
Of course, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the voice said it all. I mean, thank you too. I started because of all the run clubs, and was able to expand because of all the run clubs. So I think, thanks to them, obviously, our family and our friends that always support our journey. But for me, I always kind of was intimidated because I was always I'm getting older, I'm going to be 41, I'm running with these 20-year-olds. They're super fast. And so I was always intimidated. And I think what I would like to say is don't ever be intimidated. You're your own person, your own goals. Absolutely. And I think as long as you just, what you're up to, then you just achieve your own goals, but also help others achieve theirs. And that's actually what we did Sunday. We were just trying to be, help others as well. But no, hands down to all the run clubs for always making this happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a beautiful message. Thank you guys for being here. I love having people over, listen to your stories. It moves me and other people. We all learn from each other. It's like we're kind of connected through running, but at the same time, everybody has their own goals, their own story, what moves them, everything behind them to keep that keeps them pushing to achieve their goals. So I find that very inspiring. So I just want to make sure that other people have the ability to listen to that part of the other side of you, besides just running.
Love it. And I do have one more thing. So sorry, I forgot that I was going to mention this because I think it's super, super neat for El Paso that we're going to be doing. First time we were doing this in El Paso is, if you guys haven't seen it, but it's a sunrise series.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5Ks during the summer. So we usually don't have 5K races during the summer. And it's back to back, right? So, and it's a perfect setting because we are in El Paso Community College. Yeah. So what we're trying to do, actually one of the ambassadors there. So what we're trying to do is raise money for the El Paso Community College cross country team.
Oh, okay.
To get them funds, right? So they don't have to be worrying about working and studying and still training. So if we're able to pay for something at least, get them some sort of scholarship or pay the difference, and they don't have to worry so much about working. Then they can really focus on their
training.
So,
we already talked about how much money is invested in part of that training process. So
correct, yeah. So I just want to make sure you guys see that. So it's the Sunrise 5K series for the summer. It starts June 7th. It's the first race. It's actually open now. Yeah. You can go to Ryan Sign Up, and you can definitely start signing up now. If you sign up for all 5 races at once, you will get a discount. You can actually use the discount G2. And you'll get an additional. And that's all it is, just G2, and you'll get a discount also for that series. So shout out to Carmelo who put that together for us. And so we're very excited about that.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So make sure you guys to go ahead and register, continue running. It doesn't matter what moves you, what gets you going. Get out there for health reasons, for mental health, just for smashing more PRs or making it to Boston. Whatever your goal is, we have an amazing support of the running community. You will find somebody who will always be there to support you and encourage you and be part of that story of success here in El Paso. So thank you all, and thank you. All right, see you guys.
Thank you
for having us here, this opportunity. So
it's amazing. So thank you.
Happy to see you guys grow. All right. All right. Thank you guys. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Next time.